It's impossible to predict when an emergency will occur. But if one does, we all hope that the right people will be there to respond to those in need. We begin in Deerfield, New York on February 15th, 1993, where a fierce winter storm had left an unusually thick blanket of fresh snow that was irresistible to 11-year-old Grant Rozier and his good friend Greg Zisk.
The ravines around our area are deep, they're dangerous, and we do our best to try to make the kids know that. But they're not allowed to go back and play in the ravine. It's just too dangerous.
This part over here is the best, I think. It'll be an awesome place to slide down.
Greg's been my friend for about 6 years. My best friend for 6 years. We hang out a lot. We go to the mall. We go skating together. We get girls together and stuff. Just hang out.
Awesome! Look at this!
We told my dad that we were going sliding, but we didn't tell him that we were going sliding down the ravine. We just slide down there, and you go all over the place, and it's wicked fun. Go really fast.
Ready to go. Still be the best one. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah, it was awesome. Look at that one over there. Let's do it again.
We both like the thrill. You know, it's like bungee jumping. You just go and free falling.
Come on. Oh, look at that. It's wicked awesome over there.
And we went over to this spot where a big drift was.
Oh, look at all those over there. Come on, let's go this way. Dude, look at this. Oh, look at over there. Oh.
We're starting to go to the edge. You can hear it sink down a little bit.
Oh, Grant, look at this part. This is awesome. Come on. Come on. It's going to be wicked cool to get down this part. Come on.
When we continue.
I just couldn't believe how much snow was there. I was just thinking to myself, there's no way he could be buried under there and still be alive.
When the snowdrift Grant Rozier and his best friend, 12-year-old Greg Zisk, were standing on, gave way, they fell down an 80-foot ravine and were buried by the avalanche of snow.
I thought he was buried beside me, so I started digging around where I was. There was no trace of anything, no boots, no gloves, no nothing. It was weird because like, one minute you're just up on the top and you're having fun. The next minute, it's really scary. I couldn't imagine that he could, be dead because we're like so young. I didn't think, anything like this could happen to us. I wanted to dig him out, but once I couldn't find him, I thought I ought to get up there and at least do something to try to save his life, try to get some help. I was thinking this is taking me a real long time to get to the house, and it's precious moments that are going away. Each time I fall down and you have to get back up, that's 1 second that Greg's under the snow, not with no air.
By the time Grant got home, 15 minutes had passed since the avalanche.
Where? Where is he? He was in hysterics. I knew there was something drastically wrong.
Ken had someone call for help, but the volunteer rescuers were several miles away.
You go along the top of the ridge, I'll go down over here. I was cognizant that time was not on my side.
Grant's aunt, Renee Spatuzzi, was also helping to search for Greg.
Greg!
I just couldn't believe how much snow was there. I was just thinking to myself, there's no way he could be buried under there and still be alive.
Greg! Oh my God. Ken! Ken, look! Over there!
Greg! Greg! Greg, hang on, buddy! I started digging, thinking that we might be able to find Greg right there. Greg, can you hear me?
20 minutes had already passed since the avalanche.
Greg, hang on, bud. I really don't remember thinking about a lot other than to get down through the snow as fast as possible, and if he's not there, move on to another spot. And if he's not there, move on to another one. If he's not there, move on to another one. Nothing was going to stop me until I found him.
Oh my God.
Start right there. Start right there. Greg!
Greg! We're here, Greg!
We weren't getting anywhere, and I was terrified.
We're here!
Anything yet?
I don't see anything.
I didn't want to think that I'd never see him again.
Greg!
I wish I had gloves, and I didn't.
We're coming to get you, honey!
My hands were very cold, but once they got numb, it made it much easier just to continue digging. Hang on, Greg.
You see him?
Greg! There's gotta be someone.
Look! Greg!
There's something here. Hang on. Greg!
When we found him, I thought that Greg was gone.
Hang on.
I just couldn't imagine telling his parents what happened.
I was digging up one of my son's best friends. There was no sign of life or respiration or anything.
Greg, can you hear me?
But the scariest moment was the very first minute I saw those eyes, about half open and glazed. I think that'll stick with you forever.
It had been more than 40 minutes since Greg was buried under the snow.
Greg appeared to be dead, but we were not going to just give up and let that be the case. No matter how I found him, I was going to do something to try to change that, no matter. I'll start giving him some. Neither Renee or I are trained in CPR. Come on, Greg.
Come on, breathe,
Come on, buddy. We just drew upon what we thought we knew, understanding that the premise was to get air into this child's lungs, and that was what we tried to do.
You hook up.
Deerfield volunteer firefighter Paul Meekum helped coordinate the rescue attempt.
It was a very dangerous situation in the fact that it was very steep and it seemed to be in the area of 60 to 70 feet down, straight down.
Come on, pal. All of a sudden, his eyelid twitched. And the first thing I thought was, God, could it be possible that we might be able to save this kid?
Come on, Greg.
Come on, buddy.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
What's going on?
Advanced EMT Steve Berry treated Greg at the scene.
It's been a long time.
What's his name?
Greg.
Greg.
He was blue. He was breathing very slowly and very shallow, but it wasn't enough to maintain life.
We hooked. You're all set, Paul.
We're a volunteer fire department and we don't do repelling situations as a norm, but that was the only way out.
Okay, hold still, Greg. Okay, don't fight us.
I was amazed that he was breathing on his own, but I was concerned that even if we did everything right, that he might still suffer brain damage.
All right, here we come, guys. Okay, coming up. Take your time, guys. Come on. Nice and easy, nice and easy.
When they dragged him out, now I'm starting to assess, what does being alive mean now for this child? Does it mean brain damage? Does it mean not being exactly the same person he was before?
Just as Greg was loaded into the ambulance, his mother, Mary Angela Zisk, arrived.
They were telling me we have to see if we can revive him. He looked like a dead person. He didn't even look like he was going to be alive. But I couldn't even go near him. I couldn't hug him. They wouldn't let me touch him or anything.
Greg was transported to St. Elizabeth Hospital, where he was met by an emergency team, including trauma nurse Patsy Matos.
Greg, you're at the hospital. This child was in a serious situation. He was hypothermic, 88 degrees.
He's been unconscious, semi-conscious ever since.
In the initial period, the cold did work to Greg's advantage because it could have prevented irreversible brain damage. But when your body temperature drops, that changes a lot of things within the body that could be very serious and ultimately fatal.
Airway's okay. Mike, check his chest. I don't have
It's very important to warm him very slowly.
Let's get the bear hugger ready.
We placed a warming blanket on him called a bear hugger. It's hooked to a machine by a hose. You turn the machine on, and what it does is it blows warm air into the blanket itself, and it warms his body from the outside.
How you doing?
Saturation's up to 90%.
Doing good? Do you remember where you are?
As a person is warming up, when the temperature reaches between 91 and 93 degrees, you have to watch for symptoms of an impending cardiac arrest.
You're gonna feel warm in just a few minutes.
It was very, very tough to see him like that, very tough. He was very brave, but he was very scared.
A CAT scan revealed Greg had suffered no brain injury. He was taken to the pediatric unit, where his family and friends were finally able to see him.
His blue eyes were big and wide, and and he knew who I was, and he hugged and kissed me. It was a great moment. It was a great moment.
Did your head hurt at all? That night I just stayed up praying, thanking God that he let me live.
We love you, honey.
When I was buried down in the snow, I was struggling for a few minutes, and then I just gave up because I knew there was no hope for me.
We almost lost you.
To me, I thought I would never see anybody again. Anybody? I was happy that he was okay. I was really happy. He looked a little blue because he was still cold, but he looked like, okay for a person who got an avalanche. In the hospital, the food was bad, but we had pretty nurses, so I liked it pretty. It was pretty cool. But when I was ready to get out, I really wanted some solid food and I wanted pizza.
Greg has completely recovered from the incident.
I believe it was a miracle. Anybody who could be under the snow that long, look the way he looked, and go through what he went through, and then come out of it unscathed. God, we were lucky. Very lucky. All of us.
I'm very grateful to Ken and Renee that they could find Greg and helped him and acted as quickly as they did. And I'm really thankful and I'm really proud of Grant.
I just did what I thought was right. I calmed myself down and I went up the ravine to go get help.
Come on! Got it! Go! Yeah!
When I found out what Grant did for me, I think he really saved my life. And I love him as a brother. Me and Grant got a lot closer since that accident. We'll always be good friends. I'm just lucky to be around him. I cherish every moment I'm around with him. There is a lesson we learned. Don't take risks with your life because it can happen in an instant. Your life can be taken away.